learning so much about our genetic makeup and how it ties to how individuals respond to particular drugs and why individuals get certain diseases. Some days I get so heartened by what I see going on at Duke. I'll speak to a particular researcher and I'll think we're getting close to the promised land. I see the dream that we'll really get to a place where we'll figure out what drug to give a person based on the genetics of their own personal makeup. And other days I think that we have spent hundreds of $millions following a particular path of research, and I look back to 10 years ago and when a lot of this work got started and think about some alternative strategies and ideas people had to just develop more drugs based on what we already know. And I wonder if we wouldn't be curing more disease now if we had stuck on that path. So I hope we're on the way to a promised land. Many days I really believe it. But when I read Liz's email, that's what just came to my mind, that in that notion we're in this wandering the desert, in the transition.
Transition is a compositional device that is employed nearly in every piece of music. Very often the transition leads from a well-defined musical theme to a new well-defined musical theme. But in a fugue, for instance, in which just one musical theme, which is called a subject, is presented in many different constellations, the transition is the portion which connects one statement of the subject to the next. In a rondo, where one musical theme is repeated, but many times is interspersed with other themes like A, B, A, C, A, D, A. The music that brings the composer from A to B or from B back to A is called a transition. Sometimes the composer tries to make very often the transitions smooth, and very often the composer will use the old material to lead to the new material, use some aspect of the old material, some aspect of the new material. Sometimes the new material comes as a surprise, then transition will be more abrupt. More about this whole process. But I would like just for a minute to draw parallels between composition and our lives. We cannot avoid the transitions in our lives, but we can shape them to it. Okay? If we want the transition to be smooth, we can take some of the old with us into the new. We can move gradually and smoothly. Sometimes we can help it. It will be abruptly, but then we can cherish the surprise, even if it is painful. And now finally, a short example of a musical transition. For instance, my first idea is bam param pam paradam, bam param pam paradam, bam param pam paradam, bam param pam pam. It's the first idea. Second idea, da 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 da. So you see, the mood is different, the key is different. Now, short transition. Dam taram tam tada dam dam taram pam pada dam dam taram pam tada da la dam taram pam pam dam param pam pada dam dam tada da 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 dam tada da da dam tada da da dam taram dam da 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 da.
It's going to be interesting for me, I think, to figure out how I'm going to get there. It's like driving out of a city that you know well, and you know the name of your destination, but other than that, basically, it's, open country. And I feel like I have a couple of constants. I've got, my family is the same. I know my house. I know who I am. At least I think I know who I am. But it's really scary going into this basically void of just of openness where, and it's exciting because anything can happen. But I don't know. It's an interesting place in my life for me.
Instead of swimming, as I usually do, what I do is I sit in the hot tub and try to get near a jet. And on Saturday morning, what happens is there's the master class of swimmers. And last year, I was swimming, and they said, the master class is here. And I said, well, what does that mean? They said to me, you have to swim 30 laps. I said, bravo, I'm going to swim 30 laps. So last year, I was swimming with the master swimmers, and this year, I was sitting the jets pounding away at my arm. But what I have is the memory.
Oi, my toughest!
Oh my God, I haven't heard from you in 3 days. Anything could have happened. I thought you were dead. Why didn't you call?
I had my first colonoscopy, but I didn't want to go back because it was fine, it was fine.
Oi, that reminds me of our first Havurah meeting.
Oi, yes, that meeting where Sue told us all about her colonoscopy.
And then everybody else started sharing their own colonoscopy story. Oi.
Oi, those were the good days. Things just aren't how they used to be.
I know, everything seems to be changing. While I was trying to find the Matzah Diaries on TV, I came across Sesame Street. Oi, Sesame Street.
I know, people are so concerned about health nowadays. They made Cookie Monster into the Carrot Monster. Oi, gewalt.
I know.
May we not repress the bitter, nor flinch from it. We need to taste the bitter herbs, and then we need to make right, to correct the bitter wrongs. We need to make a commitment to perform tikkun olam, to make our lives and our world a better place. And then may we be able to enjoy the sweetness of the haroset, of our own doing good deeds, to free ourselves and our world from slavery.
That's so nice. Who wrote that?